I'm Joel McCower here in Greenville Studio with Jason Klein, Vice President for U.S. Energy Transition Strategy at Shell. So, Jason, to begin, what does it mean to have an energy transition strategy at a major oil and gas company?
Well, Joel, thanks for having me. Look, the first issue is that society faces a dual challenge of how do we make this transition to a low carbon economy while at the same time extending the benefits of energy to everyone on the planet while addressing that climate risk. And the way that society is going to do that is to go through an energy transition that will change the way energy is produced, the way it's transported, and ultimately the way it is consumed. And Shell is a willing and eager player in this energy transition because we see commercial opportunities in it. And we have a history of building strong, profitable businesses where we weren't before as our customers' needs evolve. And if I think of liquefied natural gas as a good example, that 50 years ago there wasn't a big market for that, but as that market developed, we entered that market with our customers and supplied them with that LNG and built a whole new business model that didn't exist. And so that was an energy transition, and today we're just experiencing a much bigger energy transition. And if I think about electrification and renewables, there's enormous growth opportunity there. But we also see a continued role for natural gas, particularly in the developing world, to displace coal-fired power generation and to address this huge growth of energy demand in the developing world. So we look for opportunities to build on our strengths, to build on our capabilities, to grow our renewables business, to grow our power business, and to combine those with a lot of the skills we have in trading and marketing to become an all-around energy company rather than just an oil and gas company.
So when you talk about energy transition strategy, you're not necessarily talking about a transition away from fossil fuels, or are you?
It's a transition from the energy mix that exists in society today to a different energy mix that will have more power as a final use of energy than we have today. More biofuels. We still see a big role for oil and gas in this, but to deliver on the goals of Paris Agreement, we have to get as society to net zero emissions, which means there'll still be some positive emissions for hydrocarbons and hard to abate sectors where there aren't easy solutions, but those are going to have to be offset by nature-based solutions or carbon capture and storage and a broader energy mix of lower carbon solutions to get to a net zero energy landscape.
I know that Shell has is one of the largest traders of offsets. You mentioned the nature-based solutions. You have trading desks in Asia and Europe and North America. How does that fit in, offsetting carbon emissions into an energy transition strategy?
It's one of many tools in the kit that society needs to lean on, and Shell's prepared to provide those tools to our customers. And so if I think about how we work with our customers, a good example in parts of Europe, if you have an EV, we can supply you with EV charging at some of our Shell gas stations or forecourts. But if you don't have an EV yet and you still need regular unleaded, super unleaded V-Power, we can provide nature-based offsets at the pump to offset the emissions that will come out of your tailpipe when you burn that gallon of V-Power. And we use nature-based solutions and our trading desks and other things to find those offsets to provide to our customers to decarbonize their transportation needs. And that's just one example of how we can work with customers to use nature-based solutions to get to a net zero space.
And is that a business for Shell, or is that a thing that you do to help the other part of the business?
It's part of a broad business. And so what I would say, we are committed to helping our customers decarbonize, just as we're committed to help decarbonize our operations. And some of our customers will decarbonize by moving to 100% renewable power and electrifying all of their energy demand. If you look at things like aviation and shipping and steel and cement and some of these harder to abate sectors, nature-based solutions might be part of the set of solutions we offer to those customers, in addition to How can we electrify some of their fleet and some of their needs and move to renewable power? How can we use biofuels or sustainable aviation fuels in some of their needs? And what's left, we can look at nature-based solutions as part of the offering.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to watch this transition, and it's fascinating to see that Shell has someone in your position and is leading the way. So a lot more to talk about as we watch this energy transition strategy. Jason Klein is Vice President, U.S. Energy Transition Strategy at Shell. Thanks, Jason.
Thank you, Joe.